Hello and welcome to another episode of Beginner's Guide to Gothic 2. In this episode, I'll explain stats and how weapon damage works. Let's start with the attributes. So, there are 4 main attributes, three of them you can actually upgrade. And so, Strength determines what melee weapons and crossbows you can equip. It also determines how much damage you will do with a melee weapon. Dexterity, up next. Dexterity determines what bows you can equip and bow damage. And lastly, mana. Mana is just used to cast spells, pretty much. Nothing else really going on there. Let me just hop over to my other character. So, we're here in my other world, and so let's just get started. There are 2 main types of weapons: ranged, like bows and crossbows, and swords, one-handed swords and two-handed swords. There are different formulas for melee weapons and ranged weapons. Melee weapons have critical strikes and regular strikes. Ranged weapons, on the other hand, do not have crit chance. Instead, they have either hit or miss. The chances of you hitting a critical strike or simply hitting somebody with a bow depends on the skill you actually have with the weapon. So let's say I have 90 skill with one-handed weapons. I will have a 90% chance to hit a critical strike on an enemy. So what does this all mean? What is a regular strike with a one-handed sword and a critical strike with a one-handed sword? Well, here is the formula.
Smart kid.
So a regular hit barely does any damage because of that divided by 10. Critical strike with a one-handed sword or a two-handed sword is weapon damage plus strength.
Throw away that weapon. Smart kid.
Bow damage is a bit different because there are no critical strikes. It's just a hit or miss. When you do hit, you do your weapon damage plus your dexterity minus the enemy armor. So that concludes the 3rd video for Gothic Beginner's Guide, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.